All right, today's episode, I can already see it. I can already feel it as I haven't even started yet. I can already feel your comments attacking me. I've got my armor on. You can go ahead and attack, especially you non-Leica people out there. You're going to be like, I don't need Leica. You can get this camera for that. Why would you need two? It's ridiculous. Pretend. All of it, I get it. I'm ready for it. Fine. And also, just a disclaimer, I don't think buying a Leica, or never mind, two Leica, is going to make you a better photographer. It's not going to get you out of a hump. It's not going to push you over that edge in your photography. But I like my camera equipment. I especially love my Leica equipment. I'm always trying to find different ways to pair because I shoot so many different things in my photography. So that's what I'm going to dive into. I'm going to help you navigate their luxury ecosystem. So if you're new here, I'm Justin Mott. I'm a photographer living here in Hanoi, Vietnam for over 20 years. I've shot over 100 assignments for the New York Times. My work has appeared in National Geographic, Time Magazine, Wall Street Journal, Forbes, every major publication, you name it, I've shot for them. I also shoot commercial photography for some of the biggest brands in the world. And I run this YouTube channel and my website, Ask Mott, where I offer one-on-one photography education, workshops, and much more. You can check all that out at askmott.com. So whether you're a professional or an enthusiast, Leica offers gear that suits different shooting styles, needs, and genres. Many Leica owners I know actually own more than one camera at a minimum. I've got 5 at this point, which is ridiculous. Today I'm going to break down the best combinations of new and used gear for anyone that's looking to own 2 Leicas tailored to different sort of or crossover photography genres. I'll highlight both the top tier setup. This is like money's no object, and then I'll give you we'll call it a Leica budget friendly option for each style as well. So I'll start with street photography. If you're strictly into street photography but still prefer digital, this setup will be for you. You want something that's sharp, fast, and capable of capturing those fleeting moments. And then you want the best of the best. So the premium setup, in my opinion, would be the Leica M11-P. Pair that with a Leica M, the latest and greatest 35 Summilux lens, or the 50 Summilux lens, or both. The 35 will be perfect for most street scenes, while the 50 Lux will give you that extra flexibility for portraits and tighter street scenes for photographers that like to fill their frame. If you really want to go nuts, you can go with the 35M and then couple that with a 90 Noctilux for those rare, like ridiculous shallow depth of field portraits. It's going to cost you a boatload, but that could be a nice setup, the 35 and the 90, or the 35, the 50 and the 90. Or you could even go with like a 35 and the 50 Noctilux if you just do portraits every once in a while, but you want the best of the best. It's heavy and expensive, but again, money's no object. For your second camera, I would go with, I'm not going to pick like 2 of the same camera, by the way. That'll be boring. For the second camera, I'd go with the Leica Q2 Monochrome, or wait for the Q3 Monochrome to come out. This will give you a slightly wider field of view with that 28mm fixed lens. Not for me, but for some people, they want something a little bit wider, and it's a dedicated black and white camera, so it'll be significantly different than your M11P. Plus, it offers you autofocus and the crop option. Also, just a nice everyday camera to have around the house. So pair that with the M11P and you've got a premium street photography setup. For the Leica budget option for street photography, and this is what I use, I'd go with the M10D, buy a used camera. For those of you that can't deal with a camera that doesn't have a screen, get yourself an M10R if you want high megapixels, or just get an M10 if you don't care about high megapixels but you still want the screen. Pair that with the Leica 35 Lux, get a used one, not the latest generation, the generation before. You'll save a little bit of money there. And then for your longer lens, if you don't use a long lens enough to justify the money, go with the Voigtlander 75mm Nocton and you'll save thousands of dollars, and you still get a nice quality lens that will work well in portraits. And it's a nice little setup. 35 Lux for 90% of your shots, and then get your 75, save a few $1,000s there for your every once in a while you need a longer lens or for portrait. And then as your backup, explore with a Leica CL film camera. It'll cost you less than $1,000. It's a great little affordable option for those of you that want to dabble in film on the side, but you still got your digital camera. It blends in well with that M10D because it still has that sort of film in the moment feel to it. And then with the money you're saving there, what you're going to need, you can invest that in buying more film. And that's actually the exact setup I have right now. All right, number 2 is the travel photographer who also loves street photography, but travel photography is the priority. So if you love traveling with your kit, don't mind a heavier bag, you're one of those people that doesn't mind carrying a big backpack or roller bag, and you want a full featured setup, this is the kit for you. You want versatility for both street photography and travel photography. So the premium setup here would be the Leica SL3. Pair that with the Leica SL24-90, a ton of range there. And then maybe if you really like to shoot wildlife stuff or landscape stuff in your travel work, you can add the 90 to 280, and this will have you covered for just about everything. Keep in mind, that's a lot of money and a lot of weight, but this is the premium setup. For your second camera, I would pair that heavy, bulky option with something lightweight like the Leica Q3 and this would be for those days when you want something more compact, easy to carry for street photography, and just having for casual shots. It's also a nice little backup for that other system. It's not going to cover all that range that you're going to be able to do and have all those features that you're going to get in the SL3, but it's a nice little backup in case of emergency, and it's just a totally different camera and user experience. For the budget option, I would go with the Leica SL2, something I just picked up. Get it in silver. It's sexy. It even has a better feel to me than the Leica SL3. So this gives you a beautiful, functional body, not like me without breaking the bank. Still expensive, but about half the price of an SL3. So pair this with a 24 to 90 and then maybe one M prime lens and get the M adapter when you want to switch to street photography. And if you care more about low light performance, you're shooting in low light situations, get yourself an SL2S. I have both. And for the backup camera for this, spend a couple $1,000 and get yourself the Leica Deluxe 8. It's small, portable, and reliable for casual use or for travel. Moving on to documentary photography. For those of you that focus mainly on documentary photography, you want a setup that prioritizes simplicity and reliability and with no distractions. The premium setup here, I would go with the big brother to the camera that I love and adore. Get yourself a Leica M11D. Pair that with a 35mm Summilux, my favorite lens for everything. The M11D has no screen, so it keeps you in the moment, making it perfect for documentary work, but there is a big learning curve there. But it's a great setup for those of you that have the time, have the patience to work on a long-term project. And for your backup camera, I'd get an SL3S with an M adapter, and then use that for the occasional time when you need a screen, or you just need more versatility in your camera. Then consider adding an SL prime lens with autofocus so you have that option as well. So maybe you do some portraits every once in a while, get yourself the 90 Summicron f2, or maybe you just want autofocus occasionally for your documentary work because you're working with fast-moving subjects. Get yourself a fixed 50 or fixed 35. I like fixed lenses for documentary. That's why I didn't recommend any zooms here. And then also the SL3S will give you the versatility if you also want to shoot documentary video as well. For the budget option, I would go with a Leica M10. Still a great camera. Those files are still absolutely delicious. Still perfect for most people out there. Those files, you can still print those files big, so it's a great sensor. Don't worry about that. Don't get caught up in the megapixel hype. And then save yourself some money and buy a Voigtlander 40mm f1.5 lens. I own one. It's compact. It's a lot more affordable than the M series Lux, and that focal length gives you a lot of versatility as well. And it's still a sharp lens. And then for backup, I would go with an SL2S with a couple SL primes for when you need more options. You can get some good prices on some of those SL prime lenses used, and you can get great prices on the SL2S used as well. So for anyone out there that's interested in portrait photography only, studio or natural light environmental portraits, the premium setup for me will be the Leica SL3 with a set of SL prime lenses. So get yourself a 90, get yourself a 50, get yourself a 35. So that gives you autofocus, it gives you incredible sharpness, gives you a beautiful rendering in your files. And then splurge for like a 50 Noctilux, just when you want something truly special for those dreamy little portrait shots and that amazing separation that you're going to get shooting super wide open. It's perfect for low light and capturing those smooth backgrounds. And for your backup camera, the obvious thing would say get two SL3s, but get yourself an SL2. It's a great, reliable backup camera, and because you spent all that money on that Noctilux lens, you're going to need to save a tiny bit of money there. The budget option here would be the Leica SL2, and then get yourself a set of Sigma L-mount primes. This gives you a solid foundation for portraits, allows you to invest in a variety of different lenses, and then maybe splurge on one Leica M or R series lens to elevate your kit, and then buy an adapter. I have the R series 100 macro. It's great for portrait shots. Anyway, that's it. I know this was slightly absurd, but a lot of you out there are like me, and you're always trying to figure out like your Leica ecosystem. Okay, I've got this camera, but what would pair well with that? Or I like street photography, but every once in a while I want to do travel, or vice versa. There's so many different options. They're smart at building so many cameras that slot into those different options. I just wanted to help you navigate those waters and tell you what I think would be like the dream setup and then a more budget-friendly setup in the Leica world, if that makes sense. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Tell me your Leica 2-camera setup and why. I'd love to hear it in the comment section. I do. I mean it. I like to engage. I'm pretty active in there for nice people. I definitely like to talk to you guys. If you're not nice, I just remove the comment. That's also okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to tell your Leica dealership that I sent you. I'd love some Leica love from them, man. I feel like a lot of people buy Leica cameras, not telling you to, because of me. I love it. I like an affiliate link with Leica. They don't do that, but they should, because I think I sell a lot of Leica cameras. I deserve a little bit of a kickback. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.